Hello and welcome to Trade Talks Unlocking the Experience. I'm your host, Kayla McGowan, and today I am joined by somebody many of you don't really know, but once you get to know her, you will never look back. My special guest today is Emily Dodds, and she is the founder of Immaculate Collective Consultancy and Concierge. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, I am so happy to have you too.
Thank
You have
you.
done so much for our industry already. I can't wait to see
Thank
you
you.
speak. I can't wait for people to connect with you and kind of just see how your role in this industry evolves. But
Mhm.
before we even dive into your session and a little bit
Yes.
more about you and the experience and things like that, can you
Mhm.
kind of tell people what led you to this industry?
Yeah. So this is like such a fun story because I come at it from a totally different direction. So when I was a very young mother and I was working full time and I was getting my third college degree and I was trying to find sort of this like fractional personal assistant for my own life. I was inundated with the details. I things like getting to the dry cleaner would send me over the edge, right? Because I just didn't have time. And so I couldn't find it. So in all of my spare time, I thought, I'm just going to start this business myself because I couldn't possibly be the only person who didn't have any time to take care of my home in a way in which I was proud of. And so I threw my name on the internet. Immaculate Home is what we used to be called. And 9 years later, here we are. And so throughout that process, at the beginning, we did a lot of like professional organization and cleaning. I live in a very unique, amazing small town that I like to akin sort of like to the new like Aspen, Colorado. Like if you live here, you sort of have to have a couple jobs. A lot of the people that live here, it's a second or third or fourth property. And so we're in these amazing estates. And it wasn't until like 4 or 5 years into running the business that I actually went to an IICRC training, stone masonry and tile, and my entire perspective on the industry changed. And I thought, I've been doing it wrong the whole time. And so for the past few years, at least, I've been really focused on estate management in a new way about like protecting the integrity and the finishes within the home. And now that I have enough experience there, I'm hoping to sort of join the ranks of the teaching people to say like this is really important work. How do we elevate the industry as a whole? And so I come from it, excuse me, and like this is sort of a state management, ultra high net worth category, but I think it's just sort of a unique approach to cleaning and restoration as a whole.
Yeah, I would definitely say it is very unique, but I really do love where you started and where you've come so far because I
Yeah.
think it's to your point, it's changed your perspective. You still
Mhm.
have that superior level of care, but it is in a
Yeah.
different light. And
Mhm.
you're looking for longevity too, right? It's not just about completing the service. You're
Mhm.
really trying to make sure you take care of these homes and why wouldn't you want that level of care in your own home? And so I think it's a really
Exactly.
beautiful thing. You've
Mhm.
written some pieces for us at
Yeah.
R&R and they've performed so well. And, when we talked last year, it was too late to have you come to the experience. And so I was like, let's make sure we get the opportunity, submit your idea. And here we are almost
Mhm.
365 days later. And it's happening. You're
It
gonna
is.
speak at
I
the
know.
experience and you're going to get to share the love and passion that you
Exactly.
have. But I also think too, we were talking about this a little bit before we hit record. What you're
Mhm.
going to talk about is for the advancement of the industry because
Absolutely.
floor ID is getting so complicated, and that means that we can make mistakes in the field, and they can be costly mistakes.
Mhm.
And this goes back to when I think we first talking about like how important the science and the data really are to what we do every day. And let's just
Yeah.
slow down, let's kind of talk about it. And so
Mhm.
that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So you've never attended the experience. We'll get into that
No.
a little bit more. But
Yeah.
for somebody who's attending your session, what do you want their biggest takeaways to be when they walk out of that room?
That's such a good question. So, Dr. Gavin, a couple years ago, had had been quoted saying that we have like a lack of critical thinking skills when we're in the field and we're approaching subjects or stains or flooring or countertops or whatever it is that we're unsure of, and we sort of get into this moment where we're like, I don't know what to do from here. I know what to do in a textbook, but I don't know what to do from here. And so what I'm really hoping is that people after the presentation really understand material composition in a way where everything else starts to sort of make sense. So like we're bringing it all the way back to basics. Like how did these form and why does it matter? Like what's the difference between an ionic and a convalescent bond in stone? And like why do I care? Like where's the weak point in the material and can we then build up like we're writing chapter 1, page 1. Let's go all the way back to the beginning to say like what is this material made out of, and from there what decisions do I have to make in the field to keep it in extraordinary condition, and if it isn't, how do I get back to that place in a really safe and healthy way, not only for the floor but also for the home and also for the homeowner. Like what is the best and least aggressive thing that we can do to sort of come back to harmony,
Yeah, and I
hopefully.
would even say too, there will be other parts to this, right? You and Jim Manis will be in the pavilion,
Yeah,
and you guys are going to do some cool stuff with that. And I think
yeah.
for people to really understand what's going on there, they do need
Hmm.
to attend your session to really have it all make sense, if you will,
Yeah.
because we're talking about it, we're showing you some things in the session, but then there's a hands-on opportunity because really when you see it in person you're going to say, oh, this is why it matters, and that's really the
100%.
importance of it, right? They're getting
Yes.
opportunities not just to sit and listen and maybe ask questions, they're getting the opportunity to go look at the materials, touch the materials, kind of to your point, critical think in
Hmm.
that time when you're kind of put on the spot. And I think that's really cool because we know that our industries are ever evolving, consumer needs are ever evolving, but the one thing that will never change is the importance of data and science, right? So let's slow down a little bit and really appreciate what we do have at hand because I think it'll make a world of difference and it will elevate our industry that much more, right? And we will
Absolutely.
set precedent and expectations with us just advancing all together at the same time. So, I mentioned that you had not been to the
I
experience.
know.
Yes. What are you most excited about for this event?
Honestly, the people. I know maybe that's a silly answer, but I am really excited to connect and learn from all the other experts in the industry. I can't wait. I live in a really, I talked about it at the beginning, like a really small town. We're very isolated. It's hard to get here. There's one road in and one road out. And so what I don't get a lot of the time is opportunity to network with other people in my industry that are also experts, that are also trying to advance um, everything that we do. And I can't wait. I'm excited for the whole thing.
I am too, and
I'm excited for
I
everything.
will
Yes.
say this for you, not a lot of stuff goes to Michigan. So I think that's the other thing that people need to understand is our industry, none of our events really go to Michigan. Maybe like
Yeah.
divisional or chapter size stuff, but
Sure.
there's no big conference or convention that ever really makes its way up there. And so
Yeah.
for you to be able to come to Las Vegas and get to meet people from maybe even potentially your neck of the woods is really cool
Absolutely.
because that's how you build your network.
Yeah.
And we're so excited to have you. We can't wait. Like we can't wait to see you in action and wait to see what connections come out of
Thank
this for
you.
you. We're just ecstatic. So one thing that I always like to close with is a
Yes.
fun fact
Oh
about
yeah.
our speakers. So I know this about you, but many may not know. What is one fun fact about Miss Emily?
Oh, I am a registered nurse. So I talked earlier in the conversation about like I got degrees and whatever, and it was cosmetology, business, and nursing. And so I come from a really scientific protocol backed um like process background. And I think it's helped me actually a lot in figuring out like what's the best and healthiest way to do all the things that we're doing. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's such a unique like fact
yeah.
about you. And I think to your point, you really have a different perspective. Your
Mhm.
passion is a little bit different, right? Because obviously you know how healthcare is and how it does cross over into what we do every day, right? We do some
Mhm.
of the same things as far as like
Yeah,
cleaning and decontamination and things like that.
absolutely.
But if you're seeing it at the level in the hospital, you
Hmm.
can only imagine what's actually going on in the restoration and cleaning space. So I think you
Absolutely.
definitely have a different lens, and it allows us to critically think a little bit differently. You're going to pose questions that otherwise maybe not have been posed. And, I'm excited for people to embrace you and your background and just learn from you because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I
Yeah.
don't have any more questions. I think we covered it all. Do you have any closing words before we sign off?
Oh my God. That's so good. I don't, except that like I'm so thankful to you. I'm so thankful to the industry. I can't wait to meet all of you. Let's have fun. Let's learn. Let's do cool stuff together. I love it. I'm so excited.
Yes, I am so excited too. And for all of you watching, I will link down below Emily's date, time, her topic, and the agenda so you can learn more about what Emily is going to chat about in her session. And for all of you watching, thank you for tuning in. We will see you on the next episode of Trade Talks Unlocking the Experience. Take care.